Do you think it's stored on a Rook Ceph cluster?
Probably. All right, well, looks like it says it's recording now. So welcome everyone to the October 8th Rook Community Meeting. Got the agenda up here in front of us. Feel free to add more topics that need to be discussed, but we'll start off with the usual discussion around milestones to see where we are with releases. Let's see what we have in the 1.1 release. So we had the 1.1.2 release last Wednesday, and I know that there are some things that have been backported since then. I don't know of any burning issues to get that release out though. So I'm thinking a 1.1.3 would be next week potentially, unless somebody has something more urgent. I'm not sure that this board is fully up to date. Let's see. Documentation for bucket provisioning. Yeah, I know that PR is still in progress. The upgrade test for legacy OSDs to run. Blaine, do we need to review that one, or where is that in progress? It says do not merge though.
It is ready for review, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that is, yeah, just an oversight on my part.
Sure. Okay.
Title now. Yeah, and I should probably refactor that, or rebase that rather, with the latest master.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. And then some of these other things, there's add Ceph version check. Oh, this isn't really urgent, but there's some things around removing OSDs automatically that I know Dmitry Mishin had questions around, at least about whether that's a good idea, because if an OSD is just down for a bit and he expects it to come back, he doesn't want Rook to remove it. So that that theme around safe to destroy OSDs is a good question too. I don't know, any issues that people want to bring up for 1.1? I'm not sure I have any more that we need to really talk about today. Anybody? Alrighty. With that, then we can move on to 1.2. And the 1.2 milestone, I'm going to look at the project board. I can't say I've spent much time on the 1.2 board myself yet either. I'm planning on getting that to this week. But 1.2, as we talked about in the last meeting, we'll target for early December, just after KubeCon, since that would be our quarterly cadence. And I know we do have some PRs in progress for this. So those are looking good. And I'm not sure we need to talk through these issues either, but anything around 1.2 that we need to discuss here? All right. I think we talked through release time frame last week, or last time anyway. So we'll move on to community topics, unless there's anything else for release schedule. All right. My audio is working okay, right? Just making sure I'm not talking to myself.
We can hear you.
You can hear me. All right. First thing I wanted to bring up in the topics here is just, we do have a CI issue currently that's being investigated. Jenkins was updated a couple days ago and builds working fine for the first day, but now it is not working. So our builds just aren't being triggered at all now. So that, yeah, we need to get that resolved ASAP to get the builds going again. And yeah, I tried to ping Adam last night. Adam is someone from Red Hat. He's in Israel and working on the CI now, but he was offline today, unfortunately. So anyway, we'll continue looking into that. But it is great to have him. Yeah, Jenkins is now updated. That was the thing. So it's on a recent Jenkins instead of being severely out of date. And next he's going to work on updating the plugins that are still out of date. Alrighty. Any questions about the CI? All right. Oh, and tomorrow there is going to be a CI meeting for those interested, or let me know if you're interested, and I'll add you to the invite. There's Blaine and a couple guys from SUSE and Red Hat will be meeting to talk about future plans and what we can do, since we have a few people interested in that topic. The next thing for 1.2, we need to get the roadmap updated. And this is, at this point, largely dependent on what storage providers are working on. So I'd like to get input from each of the storage providers and get that merged by our next meeting in 2 weeks. So I'm not seeing, let's see, who do we have from the various storage providers here today? I know we have Ceph representation. Are others here that I'm not recognizing that could help with that roadmap? Well, yeah, I'll have to ping the owners of storage providers individually on that then. Okay. Since our last meeting, we had a couple of bots enabled in the repo, thanks to Sebastian's suggestions. Seb, do you want to just mention what those are? Make sure we're clear on what we're accomplishing with those.
Yeah, so we got 2 bots. The first one is called Mergify, which basically allows us to get smoother backports by applying labels to PRs. Particular labels points to particular release branches. So the workflow is the following. You send a PR on master, then you have reviews from maintainers, then you get approvals, then CI goes green, and then someone from the maintainers team merges it. Once the PR is merged, Mergify will automatically do the cherry picks and create a backport PR. And as a result, a new PR will be created for this original PR, and the backports will be made. Also, the CI will be running, and I'm not sure if that's solved yet. I think it is, but correct me if I'm wrong, Travis. The CI will run, and if the CI goes green, then Mergify will also merge the backport PR as well as removing the branch. So that basically maintainers don't have to care about backports anymore in terms of just approving and merging manually again. The only thing they have to do is just to resolve conflicts if there are any. Mm-hmm. So that's for the first bot.
Yeah, and one comment around that too, and it's been awesome to have that in place. It's simplified backports a lot. So the point of approval then for backports is when whoever has merge access merges to master, they should look for that backport tag, and if they think it needs to be backported, we add the tag. But if we don't think it should be merged, we should remove the tag before merging to master. And anyway, as part of merging to master, we should have in our mind, should this be backported, and add or remove the tag accordingly. So then the bot can do the right thing just immediately at that point. And we don't have to revisit whether to backport in the future. It's just at that point, it's considered approved if the tag's there and it's merged to master.
Yeah, so then you also resolved the permission issue for the bot to merge.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, cool. So we have all the workflow in place, and yeah, just like Travis mentioned, it's a bit more like common sense, but we're still trying to get some control over what is going to be backported. By definition, every bug fixes can be backported, but people might be tempted to backport features as well, things that we don't actually do. So that's for the first bot. The second one is basically a commit linter. I guess if you really want to bring some quality over the project, people really have to understand that the contribution not only mean providing code, but also providing good documentation and proper commit messages as well. So the bot actually ensures that the commit has commit title as well as a commit body, a commit message in it, explaining what the code is about, if it's a bug fix, if it's a feature, so that when someone looks at the Git history, then we all remember what happened for this particular commit. So yeah, it's funny because today I've read something on Twitter, and this was about documentation, but I think this can really apply to get nice Git messages as well for commits. Is that I think that it was saying that when you write documentation, or then for me now, when you write Git commit messages, it's like writing a love letter to yourself in the future. So that when you just get it, or when you come back to that specific commit, then you're super happy to see that everything was well explained. So yeah, that's actually this was really interesting.
Nice.
And I think it's a nice way to put it. So you're basically thanking yourself in advance by doing so. So we're trying to enforce that for every and any new or regular contributors on the repo.
Yeah, basically you were already asking people to do this. Now the bot can do it for you. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's actually an attempt to. I guess really the benefit from that is from a pure maintainer perspective is to really focus on the code at this point. Once you have eliminated all of these super annoying little things, then you can actually do a review.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's it.
Cool. Thanks a lot. Any questions about those bots or comments? All right. Next thing I've got on the agenda is formalizing Rook API. So there's been this. Rook as a storage platform for Kubernetes, we haven't really put effort into what that API looks like. We've put more effort into the storage providers themselves, and in doing so, there are features in storage providers that really we can do more to share them across storage providers and basically make it into more of an API that storage providers can consume to get consistent behaviors between the storage providers, just increase reliability and supportability, and anyway, all the good things of sharing good features related to storage operators. Anyway, I created a first draft of a doc for what features we might consider or might be reusable by the different storage providers. It's a really early draft, but if you're interested in that discussion, let me know, and I'd be happy to share the doc with you so we can just expand that list and look at what and how we can expand that API to be as useful as possible, and it'll just be a good thing for the community. Yeah, so that's all I've got for that topic, just early discussion phase for that API.
Travis, I plan to look at it. Thanks for writing it up.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it. I really think, yeah, expanding on that will just be a really positive thing for Rook. So, okay. And looks like the last thing we have in the agenda then is the Ozone operator has a PR in progress. And I know I've unfortunately not had the time to review it yet. Is anyone here from Ozone operator by chance?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, great. Good to have you, Martin. You want to give us a summary of where this are or where this is?
Sorry about Ozone. So this is just the first issue. I don't know what is your preference, to get one big commit or a big PR or a lot of smaller. So this is the first version. And for example, the proper persistent storage handling is missing. So it can install an Ozone, and Ozone can work with mtdir. That's what can be done with this operator as of now, and all of the resource, custom resource definition handling, and all of this part. And I'm planning to create more other pull requests, but if you prefer, I can just merge it to one big pull request, or it depends from your preference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this sounds like a great start. I don't have any specific feedback about whether it makes sense to merge another PR with this one. If it's so, yeah, we can take that offline.
Okay.
If it provides a basic operator in this PR, I'd say it's not required to merge them together.
Okay.
It's your preference. Yeah, so yeah, I'd be happy to take a look.
Thank you.
Soon on this one, and others, yeah, love more feedback, the better.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And yeah, so the Ozone operator, assuming it's merged soon, would be in our 1.2 release, which is targeted for December. So that give you plenty of time to add more features for the first release.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the other information that currently we have a release vote in Apache about the 0.4.1. So currently it's something like it uses something like a snapshot Docker image, which is on the Docker Hub, but it's not under the official Apache user, which will be updated very soon. Hope we have 2 or 3 days to get to the last release, which can work together with this version, and yeah, until December we have more than enough time to use the official Apache images.
mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, sounds great.
Okay.
Any other questions for the Ozone operator? Anybody has here? We'll take it to the review on the PR. Okay, thanks, Martin. Or anything else you wanted to bring up regarding Ozone, or just?
Yeah, I didn't have enough time until now, but hopefully it will be faster and more frequent updates. That's my plan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially after the release, hopefully I will have more time to work on this. So I would like to make this development faster and get a stable version very soon.
Excuse me. Yeah, sounds good. All right, with that, are there any other topics that anybody wanted to bring up today? Okay. Going once, going twice. Sold. Well, thanks everyone for the meeting today then, and we will follow up on PRs and other items we discussed today.
Cool. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a
See
good
you
day.
guys.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Hey.